Hey friends, thanks for stopping by. It's Cold Stare, and in this video I'm going to show you everything you need to know to complete the Beast Mastery Hunter Mage Tower Challenge. Completing the Fell Totem's Fall scenario will earn you the Wild Stalker Armor Transmog set. This is a recolor of the Mythic Tomb of Sargeras set. And if you've never been to the Mage Tower and you don't know how to get there, just start by heading to the Legion version of Dalaran. From there, you're going to fly south down to the Broken Shore. From there, you're looking for Deliverance Point on your map, and that's where you're going to find the Mage Tower. And then you're going to look for an NPC named War Counselor Victoria. Go and speak to her, and she'll teleport you into the scenario. Now, here's a quick look at the consumables, which is all pretty standard if you do any Mythic Plus or rating, with a few exceptions: drums and potions. I'm going to recommend you bring in a tenacity pet for the increased health and fortitude of the bear, so that's why you're going to bring in drums. As far as pets go, I'm going to recommend scale hides, as they have the special ability called Scale Shield. That makes them take 50% less damage for 12 seconds, and that's really important as they're taking the brunt of most of the damage throughout this scenario. Here's a talent build I used, and I thought it was pretty good, but don't be afraid to mess around with different builds, different talents, see what works best for you. I would just recommend that it's an AoE build, and make sure you pick up Scattershot. That's really important for controlling Tugar and Yormog throughout this encounter. Now Yormog here, he begins the fight with 9 stacks of these Fell-hardened scales, so he's taking almost no damage. We need to knock those scales off as the fight goes on, but we'll talk about that more later on in the video. When he comes up from burrowing underground, he's going to immediately start casting the Sonic Scream that does heavy physical damage, so we must intimidate that. Tugar throughout the fight, about every 15 seconds, is going to cast Fell Burst. We want to counter shot that. There's going to be these Fell Surge totems that pop up occasionally. Make sure you take those out quickly or they will stun you. And Yormog is going to occasionally burrow underground and charge at us, and we need to make sure we get out of the way of that. It will stun you and do a lot of damage, so keep an eye out for that. And all throughout the encounter, you'll occasionally get this dot cast on you called Fell Shock. It does moderate damage, and it's unavoidable unless you're a dwarf or a Dark Iron Dwarf. Then you can use your racial ability. Here's a look at the gear I had on for this. It was kind of combination of Mythic Plus and Undermine gear. I did change the power on the belt to the absorption, but honestly, it wasn't that great, so use whatever you like there. I have seen on Reddit and elsewhere on the internet right now, the big flavor of the month item is the Dark Moon embellishments and trinkets that I guess will trivialize the difficulty of this. I will never advocate that, because for me the fun in Mage Tower is the difficulty, but hey, if that's your thing, feel free to go down that road. Anyway, let's begin. So, like I said, Yormog begins the fight with 9 stacks of Fell-hardened scales, so for now we're kind of ignoring him with the exception of just interrupting his Sonic Scream. Tugar is occasionally going to cast that Fell Burst, and we must interrupt that. Above all, that is your top priority, is interrupting, or it will one-shot you, okay? You're going to avoid the swirlies, and you'll notice he channels Earthquake. That makes those rocks fall from the ceiling down to the floor. And you notice how Yormog is charging us. Okay, this is one of the most difficult parts of this challenge, is you have to bait him into those rocks. You see how he kind of lines up with you? You always have to be paying attention to where those rocks are and lining up to bait him into those, because that's how we're knocking off those Fell-hardened scales. You also notice those Bile Spitters popped up out of the ground. We need to bring those down. They will put a stacking poison on you that really hurts. So that's your chance to go into AoE mode. Good time to use Call of the Wild to activate your 15 seconds of Beast Cleave. So as far as when to use your potion and drums, I'm going to recommend you wait until you've knocked off all the scales off Yormog. And that's because if let's say you used your drums and potion at the start of the fight on Tugar, you're going to burn him down too quickly. And remember, when one target dies, the other enrages, okay? So if you kill Tugar before you've had a chance to knock all the scales off Yormog isn't going to burrow underground anymore, and now he's enraged and not even taking full damage yet. So the goal here is to try and wear them down slowly together. When Yormog pops up, focus on Yormog. When he's underground, focus on Tugar. Don't be afraid to pull back your DPS on Tugar if you have to. I know that seems counterintuitive, but trust me, you're trying to avoid enrage. Both of these targets are difficult to manage when they enrage, so just something to keep in mind. And it's not dispellable enrage if you're wondering if you can just trank shot it. You can. It's just a permanent buff they'll have. I've been asked in past Mage Tower BM videos if taking Scare Beast is worth it, and I don't think it is for 2 reasons. It's in an awkward spot in the talents to reach, and plus it has kind of a long cast time. I think Intimidation, Scattershot, Countershot, and Ice Trap are usually enough to control Tugar and Yormog. Now, if Yormog pops up and is casting Sonic Scream, and you're not going to be able to stop it for whatever reason, you'll want to make sure you've got Survival of the Fittest rolling, or even Turtle. You're pretty much going to want some sort of defensive rolling at all times throughout this encounter. You're going to be using Exhilaration almost on cooldown. If your pet dies and you need to resurrect it, definitely be prepared to use a defensive because Tugar's going to come over to you. But anyway, here it is. Your Maw goes down. You see Tugar's enraged there. This is a really dangerous part in the encounter. So make sure you burn him down quickly, and down goes Tugar. There it is. That's the entire fight from start to end. These Mage Tower encounters really changed quite a bit from one expansion to the next. There's been times in the past where this one wasn't too bad. Currently in the War Within, it's a little rough. You're taking a lot of damage throughout this. So just remember, this is an attrition fight. There, I was just showing you the amount of absorb the belt did, which was pretty negligible, so I'm not really going to recommend it. I think I just wanted to see how it was, try it out. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the box below. Thank you so much for watching. I have a little fun bonus clip at the end of this if you want to check that out. It's a clip of Tugar and I dying at the same time. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Take care, and I'll see you in Azeroth.
Control. Stop casting. AOE incoming. Charging. Move. Stun inbound control. Charging ground control. Stop casting. Stun incoming. Crowd control. Stop casting. Stun incoming. Crowd control. AOE incoming. Charging. Move.
I need to target.
Crowd control. Stun incoming.
I do not have a target.
Charging. Crowd control. Stop casting. Stun in ground control.
I require a target.
Stop casting. AOE incoming. Charging. Move. Stun in ground control. Crowd control. Charging. Move. Stop casting. Stun incoming. Crowd control. Crowd control.
You had all the fun without me. With Tugar gone, the Feltotem should present less of a threat. Even so, I will keep an eye on those treacherous fiends.